CORALreef Lipids trial studied the efficacy and safety of a drug called Enlicitide. Enlicitide is an oral PCSK9 inhibitor. We know about PCSK9 inhibitors from injectable monoclonal antibodies or siRNA therapies, but this is the first pill to be tested in this stage of clinical trial. We studied it in 8-week studies, but this is a longer-term study. So in CORALreef Lipids, we randomized almost 3,000 people with either prior ASCVD or who were at risk for ASCVD and who had elevated LDL cholesterol on background lipid-lowering therapy to either Enlicitide or placebo. It's once a day. We did a 2-to-1 randomization with two people receiving Enlicitide per everyone get placebo and followed that for 52 weeks. The primary endpoint was at reduction in LDL cholesterol at week 24, and the secondary endpoint was at week 52, as well as reductions in non-HDL, ApoB, and lipoprotein. So CORALreef Lipids is not a pharmacology study, so you'd have to go back to the original pharmacology studies to look at certain things like potency, for example. But as a cardiologist, what I'm looking at is what's the end effect of Enlicitide and how does that compare with what we've seen for other PCSK9 inhibitors. When we analyze the data in a reanalysis to account for some issues around LDL measurement, we found that Enlicitide lowered LDL cholesterol by 60% at week 24 with really potent reductions in non-HDL cholesterol, ApoB, and LPA. And while this wasn't a head-to-head of Enlicitide versus monoclonal antibodies, when we indirectly compare and look at what was reported for reductions in those endpoints around the same time period, it's almost numerically identical. So I think it's, from a clinician perspective, safe to say that this is as effective in lowering LDL cholesterol and atherogenic lipoproteins as injectable monoclonal antibody and PCSK9 inhibitors. Now, it's actually a little bit numerically greater reductions than what we saw with the siRNAs, and that's already been shown previously for the monoclonal antibodies. This is a surprise because the way that Enlicitide works is very similar to how the monoclonal antibodies do. So Enlicitide prevents the PCSK9 protein from binding the LDL receptor. Monoclonal antibodies do the exact same thing. They just bind the PCSK9 or a little bit different. Well, there's really two issues when we think about adherence. There's adherence if you do what you're supposed to every day, and there's persistence if you stay on therapy. And unfortunately, for every lipid-lowering therapy, injectable, oral, we have generally problems with both adherence and persistence, with high rates of discontinuation of both. The good news is I think that having more options for patients is going to allow people to choose the therapy that's going to work the best for them. So for people who are doing great on an injectable and are able to stick with it and are happy with it, they don't need to switch to a pill. But for somebody who may be reluctant to start an injectable or who wouldn't be as adherent, then maybe they'll be better off with the pill. So from my standpoint, I think more options for patients will mean greater adherence at a population level. We actually did study adherence and persistence in the trial itself, and 97% of patients reported really high degrees of adherence to the study frog, and a large number of participants in the trial, the vast majority, in fact, opted in at the end of the study to an open label extension. And the fact that people wanted to stay in the trial in order to receive drug after it was over, I think gives us a lot of really positive information that once people get on this therapy, they're happy with it and they want to stay on it. Well, I think the paradigm for lipid lowering is generally going to stay the same, where we want to start with statins. They are highly effective and very safe, and they're very affordable. But once we get past statins and maybe ezetimibe, many patients are still not achieving LDL cholesterol goals, particularly if we're looking to get people to LDL cholesterol less than 55. I think once you're at that point, I think Enlicitide would fit in nicely with the other options we have for non-statin LDL cholesterol lowering. I don't think we're at a point where we're going to go in front of the statins, but after you are on a statin, if you need further LDL lowering, I think enlicitide is a really great option. I hope so. I think we know from lots of observational epi data that as a whole, we are failing to get even our most high-risk patients to LDL cholesterol goals. We're missing an opportunity to prevent cardiovascular events. I hope that having more options for lipid lowering will help close that gap. But I think even more importantly than changing how we prescribe it is I hope we can actually expand who is prescribing it. When we've looked in national databases, fewer than 10% of primary care physicians are prescribing injectable PCSK9 inhibitors now. And those are the clinician group that are reaching the majority of patients who need additional lipid lowering. And while for me as a preventive cardiologist with a lot of time in clinic, it's very easy to prescribe an injectable, that's not the case for a busy primary care doctor. So my hope is that a highly efficacious pill might be a little bit easier to prescribe and help people overcome their prior inertia to using non-statins in primary care. I'll just add that we're very happy to see that enlicitide is very safe and very well tolerated, and similar discontinuation rates as placebo, and really no increase in severe adverse events in people given enlicitide versus placebo. So this is a very safe drug that people wanted to stay on, and we're happy to continue after the trial was over.